Love, what you want to do later today?
I gotta go set up at home. Then I got, you know, cause we're playing at the yacht club tonight.
Who?
Me and the boys.
What's the name of this band?
This band is called Second Opinion.
Is it really? Anybody else, Docs?
All of them. One vet, all Polish. So he speaks Polish and Italian.
And what are you gonna speak there?
Oh, I speak Polish. Just them szczęśliwy. I'm happy to be here.
How did you meet them, man? He knows everybody.
Just through music.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the Windy City, the incomparable William Earl Woods.
Well, you know, music has always been my release.
He may not be a star in the music world yet, but in the eyes of these two fans, he's more than that. To them, he's Dad. Now, let's take it from the top. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce Dr. William E. Woods, Dr. Carmen Woods, and Dr. Shaw Wendy Woods. When William Woods grew up in Anniston, Alabama, the odds of him becoming a successful physician were against him. One of 8 children, he had no professional role models, but he had the love his family provided and his own God-given determination to succeed.
My dad worked at a foundry that made steel pipe, okay? My mother worked as a domestic and provided very well for us as much as you could with income in those days with a family as large as ours, but we were blessed. I really never had a real role model, you know, for medicine because at that time there was only one black physician in my hometown, but he mysteriously disappeared and stopped practicing. And later on when I was in high school, another gentleman came to town. He was on the opposite side of town, never got a chance to know him that well.
At the age of 6, he saw his playmate get hit by a car and something clicked inside of him.
Well, I once had a good friend of mine was hit by a car. I was 6, he must have been about around 6 years old also, and when the ambulance came and took him to the hospital, I was kind of wondering, gee, if I were there, you know, and knew what I was doing, I might be able to kind of help him and make him get all better.
After high school, William Woods went to Tuskegee Institute, and it was there he was introduced to medicine and a future he wanted to pursue.
Tuskegee was the real turning point for me. Okay, I really wanted to go to Morehouse, just didn't have the resources to do that, and there was a work-study program at Tuskegee that was just ideal, you know, for students like myself who were pretty academically oriented but had no resources. So that was really my salvation, and that's where I really was, had a chance to become familiar and work with people who were in the medical profession, and that was my real turning point.
He gained acceptance to Meharry Medical College in Nashville and earned his MD in 1972, completed his internship in internal medicine, and served 3 years as a chief medical officer in the United States Army. By 1976, Dr. Woods and his wife, the love of his life, Essie Shaw Woods, had 4 children, and it was then that he began residency training in the field of obstetrics and gynecology at Mount Sinai Hospital in Chicago, graduating in 1980. For the next 15 years, Dr. Woods devoted most of his time to his profession. He was the sole provider for his family of 5, and with the love and patience his wife provided, they succeeded. In 1995, William Earl Woods, MD, SC, and his wife, now business manager, opened a solo private practice in Gurnee, Illinois. His practice prospered, and a few years later they opened another office in Park City, Illinois. This time he had a partner, his daughter, Dr. Carmen Woods Hollowell. A graduate of Spelman College and Meharry Medical College, she did her OBGYN residency at Rush Presbyterian St. Luke Medical Center in Chicago and served as chief resident during her final year.
I'm very fortunate in having a very unusual circumstance I appreciate daily, that I get to see my parents and my father in particular in two dynamic. I see him as a professional. He is outstanding. There is no one better. and I get to see him in the role as a parent and a caregiver, and the way that he nurtures me. So I have a very unusual and very special relationship with him. It's just fantastic.
Dr. and Mrs. Woods' second daughter, Dr. Shaw Wendy Woods, is a graduate of Hampton University and Loyola University. She has also earned an MD from Meharry, but this was only the first step on her journey. She then trained at the University of South Carolina in general psychiatry. Dr. Woods' journey is currently continuing. Today, she is a child and adolescent fellow at the University of Illinois at Chicago.
I think the impetus behind going into child and adolescent psychiatry as a specialty was the fact that if you can get to a person at a younger age and intervene, the chances of them having a productive adulthood are much greater. And so I'm just very fascinated with that age group.
Upon completion of her training, she seeks to develop a practice that deals with the complex issues of psychiatric illness in children, with an emphasis in the mind, body, and spirit.
Particularly with psychiatry, there's such an psychiatry and spirituality are very much intertwined. You can go through verses of the scripture and find different things that relate to psychiatry or psychology, anxiety, depression, what have you. And I really just think that, you know, addressing both, when you look at a patient and you assess them and you want to find out about their history and kind of try to find out what's going on with them diagnostically, if you don't take into account their spiritual foundation, you're really doing them a disservice. Because oftentimes, particularly with Black families, I've found that that's their strength and their foundation is their faith in terms of healing and things. And I mean, there have been studies with women in particular who have strong faith in the Lord who is almost protective of depression. And so I just think that not to address that would be me missing the point.
Now, the fact that Dr. William E. Woods is a board-certified OBGYN, holds a permanent medical license in the states of Illinois, Georgia, and Tennessee, is a fellow in the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology, holds a position of diplomat within the American Board of Obstetrics and Gynecology, and is a member of the American Medical Association, is an outstanding testament to his accomplishments. However, none of them qualifies him to be recognized as a great jazz musician. But with the determination he's exhibited all of his life, and with his track record, one day he probably will.